This is Atlanta Falcons cornerback Isaiah Oliver. Now, I understand that with a thumbnail and title for a video like this, it seems odd that I'm talking about Atlanta Falcons corner Isaiah Oliver, but if you just bear with me for a minute or two here, you'll understand why I'm highlighting this to begin with. Mr. Oliver here is part of a Atlanta Falcons secondary that actually is only averaging about an age of 25 years old, and some of the guys who, like Keanu Neal, are only still 25. He has only really played in 1 or 2 full seasons in the NFL due to various injuries throughout his career. This graphic doesn't even include first-round pick A.J. Terrell in the secondary, who did not play in the game due to landing on the COVID list. This lack of experience among the Atlanta Falcons secondary is a prime reason why they rank 31st in pass defense, and it's because of this that, and overall, their team has just not gotten off to a good start, starting 0-3. Lack of experience is also probably what happened when Isaiah Oliver had this would-be interception turn into a Jimmy Graham catch and run for about 5 or 10 more yards. Again, you might be asking yourself why I am highlighting the Atlanta Falcons secondary when this is supposed to be a video about Nick Foles and the Bears. Well, I want to highlight this and this specific play in general because this is probably the worst play that the Atlanta Falcons secondary gave up, but there were very many plays, not even attacking Isaiah Oliver, plays against Jalen Watkins, plays against Keanu Neal. Really, the only player in this secondary who did not give anything up, and I can't believe I'm saying this, is Darqueze Dennard, who is not really known around the league as just a pure lockdown cornerback. It is because of these various boneheaded plays by the Atlanta Falcons secondary that led Nick Foles to avoid having his second interception in, I believe, his first 3 or 4 drives. And it avoided the Atlanta Falcons either being able to at least increase the lead, or at least keep the lead, or increase the lead based on the, I believe, a 16-point lead at this point in the game. After this should have been interception turned into a Chicago Bears first down, the Bears ended up getting a passing touchdown to Anthony Miller for about 17 yards, which is the play that I said where they attacked Keanu Neal and his inexperience led to the touchdown. But it's these plays in general all put together that led to a performance that didn't really tell the whole story for Nick Foles, which was inaccurate throws, bad decisions, and not really great play by him and the offense when he was out there. And I will admit, me highlighting the struggles that this Atlanta Falcons defense has not only knocks Nick Foles' performance, but it also shows that Mitchell Trubisky just cannot apparently get it done. I've wanted to believe in him. Through for the first 2 weeks, I believed that he could be a great starter in the league. But obviously, if he cannot perform against the Atlanta Falcons secondary, he cannot perform against anybody. And he showed his athleticism a little bit, but it wasn't enough. They only put up 10 points. And again, I mean, their kicker missed a field goal earlier in the game. You can debate whether that has an effect on this point in the game or not. But, I mean, the Atlanta Falcons also missed a field goal and a PAT while Mitchell Trubisky was on the field. So his kicker missing a field goal gets canceled out by the fact that Atlanta's kicker missed 4 points. I want to wrap up talking about the Atlanta Falcons secondary because we're with this point, and that is that Nick Foles is not going to be able to make these mistakes that he made throughout this game every single week because he's not going to be facing the second worst defense in the league in the Atlanta Falcons. He's going to be going against the Vikings 2 times a year, who admittedly are off to a slow start, but it's still a Vikings defense that is solid. They're going against the Packers defense twice a year. They're going against the Lions defense twice a year. Not to mention if they make the playoffs, they have to face a defense like San Francisco or Dallas, who has a solid defense, or Seattle with Jamal Adams and all those guys. They have a very good defense as well. There's 10 teams in the NFC that the Minnesota Vikings could go up against at any given point that have 10 times better a defense than the Atlanta Falcons do. Because of this, Nick Foles won't be able to make a boneheaded play like throwing into triple coverage and be able to get away with it due to an inexperienced defense. He just won't be able to do that. And now that the Bears have lost Tariq Cohen for the whole entire year with a torn ACL, the weapons that, like I said, Chicago doesn't necessarily always have better weapons than the defense, but now with Tariq Cohen being gone, I don't really see how they have that passing attack out of the backfield other than this weird gadget thing that they do where they put Cordero Patterson at running back. I don't see a running game being able to be sustainable or a passing game out of the backfield being able to be sustainable for the rest of the year for the Bears. Another startling problem that anyone has with Nick Foles is his injury and inconsistency history. And when you think about that, if he were to go through and finish the rest of the season as the Chicago Bears starter, play every single game from here on out, not get injured, not get replaced due to inconsistency, this would be his career high for games played in a season at 14. He's never played 16 games in a season. He's only played more than 10 games in a season 2 out of his 9 seasons. So there's an obvious problem with Nick Foles-led teams, and that's that you never truly know if you're going to be going into the next week's game with him as your starting quarterback. The inconsistency and injury issue that lies with Nick Foles could be the reason that we end up seeing Mitchell Trubisky or possibly even a third different quarterback take the reins as the Chicago Bears starting quarterback by the end of the year. But also, don't be surprised if he starts the rest of the year and just doesn't provide the certain spark that I think many people thought he was providing. Because, like I said earlier, he's not going to be going against one of the worst defenses in the league every single game. He's not going to be able to get away with boneheaded plays and mistakes that he would be able to get away with when he's playing a team like Atlanta. And with all that being said, that's going to be the video for me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit the like button. If you didn't, make sure you hit the dislike button. Any feedback from you guys at this point is much appreciated. If you like the content that I put out, make sure you hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get a notification every time I post a video. If there's anything you think I forgot to talk about, make sure you leave a comment down below. I try to get back to as many of you guys as possible. And that'll be the video for me again. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.